The governor, Mike Pence of Indiana, scrambling to make his religious freedom law not look like an anti-gay law. He's gotten hot tamale criticism from editorial boards, from CEOs, from hashtags, and from Keith Olbermann's. It's enough to make someone go through much reflection and consultation leading up to a press conference earlier today.
After much reflection and in consultation with leadership in the General Assembly, I've come to the conclusion that it would be helpful to move legislation this week that makes it clear that this law does not give businesses a right to deny services to anyone. We need to deal with it so that everybody around the country and around the world knows that Indiana is a welcoming place to everybody. And I agree. We've got to correct that perception.
Despite Governor Pence's attempts, John, to calm this down, Arkansas has now, the legislature there has now passed a comparable law, not identical, but comparable law, sending it to that governor's desk there. The question for you, John, is didn't Governor Pence effectively solve his political problem today on this issue?
I think that this is not just a political problem for Governor Pence, but a political problem for the entire Republican Party. I think the Arkansas law makes that clear. You saw the way that the 2016ers on the GOP side piled in, I would say, pretty precipitously behind this law, even when Governor Pence is now trying to walk it back. And I don't think there's a solution here at hand that's not going to make it, they're not going to look to a lot of people like this is a law that's based in intolerance, and that is bad news for the Republican Party in its attempt to court younger voters and many other voters.
It is not clear, despite Governor Pence's desire to change this law in some way, it's not clear how he can satisfy both the business community, the gay rights community, and his more conservative legislature. The legislature is quite conservative because Governor Pence is saying an extraordinary thing. He said at his press conference today, no one should be harassed or mistreated because of who they are, who they love, or what they believe. That puts him to the left, in theory, of a lot of governors from other states, including maybe some Democratic governors. And I don't see at this point how he fixes this law and squares the circle with everybody now who's fired up about this.
Right. If you take him at his word, that quote you just read and that he enunciated this morning, Mark, he should now come out, not only try to fix this law, he should come out in favor of an anti-discrimination law on the basis of sexual orientation in the workplace, in public accommodations, every place else. There's about 20 states that have laws like that. Indiana does not. On the basis of what he said today, he should be in favor of that law, and you know darn well he's not.
I think as long as the heat stays this high and you see more and more businesses and people from sports and entertainment speaking out, as long as the heat's high, don't underestimate the extent that Governor Pence is not where his legislature is, and that means coming up with a solution really hard.